Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Darshawn McAway. You're tuned in to wildpodcast.me. And today we have a special guest. We have Zane Carruth. Zane, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So I'm going to jump right into it
Okay.
because the children's book stories in the world, that's my territory. So, what made you get into writing children's books?
It was just a fluke. I just picked up a spiral notebook one day and started writing, and the story just wrote itself. And halfway through, I thought, oh my gosh, this could be about the tooth fairy. So I just ran with it. It was because my background is insurance and marketing and sales.
Okay.
So it was quite a departure.
Got you. Got you. All right. So, let's talk about your very first book and how you got started with that one.
Well, I like I said, it just wrote itself, and then once I figured out it was about the tooth fairy, uh, the plot just kind of thickened and developed. But then I didn't know how to get it published.
Okay.
This was before everything online work and Google and all of that self publishing. But in about it's set in a drawer for maybe 15, 16, 17 years until I went to, I'm a certified etiquette professional, and I went to a class, and the lady had done a children's book about etiquette. So I asked her, who published this? And she said, I did. So she self published, and I got some tips from her, and I just ran with it. It's a big, if you self publish, you know how much work it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of work behind it. You become every man of the company. You become the editor, the proofreader, the marketing person, the publicist.
If the buck comes back to you, I mean, yeah, your name is on everything. You sign
Right,
off on everything. But
right,
but I have a good team put together now. I use the same people, the same, proofreaders and illustrator, which my illustrator is incredible. So
right. So when you first got started with the books, did you have to? Did you realize that you weren't necessarily you're writing to children, but you're also writing to the parents, so the parents can purchase the book for the children?
yeah, that was my mistake because the first book I wrote, it was too long.
Hmm.
I mean, parents just didn't want to read it. I mean, I could write for Disney because I could go into detail about everything. So I rewrote it two other times to shorten it. And now it's finally at about the right length that a parent wants to read to their kids. It
Right,
still tells the story, but it leaves out all of the fluff. But it's still a
right,
good story. It's a great
right.
story.
So, did you get a chance to test the book out on any of your children, or do you have any grandchildren?
Yes, I do. Yeah, they all loved it. And I read it at schools and the kids loved it. And yeah, I've got a lot of very positive feedback from children on the
Okay,
book.
okay. So you have a total of how many books at this particular point?
Seven.
Seven books. And I would assume that right now you're kind of going on a little of excuse me, a bit of a press tour, right?
No,
No,
I need
just
to, but
just keeping
no.
the name
And
out
I
there,
actually hired a PR firm
right?
to help me do that because I sell a lot of books overseas and I sell a lot in England. So I thought, well, I want to go over there and do a tour, but that just never got put together. So
Right.
I have to just kind of put it together myself. Well,
Yeah.
or in the States, but I've done a lot of book signings and book readings, and I do a lot of that. But as far as having one where I just go from boom, boom, boom is what I'm hoping to put together this year in 2025.
Okay. Good deal. Now I did do just a little bit of research, and I saw that you had a little pajama set that
Oh,
went along with
yes,
the
that's
book.
from Neiman's.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did that come about? Like, what was that theory behind that?
That was just another one of those things that just fell in my lap. I
Hmm.
was at a function and I met this lady and she said she was from Neiman's. And I said, oh, I would love to come to Neiman's and have a book reading and a book signing. She said, okay. So I gave her my card. And when I met her for lunch to talk about it, she told me, well, we have this books to bed program. And I showed the department and books to bed your books, and they just fell in love with it. And so they made a pajama set to match my books.
Right. Right.
So that
Uh,
was just one of those things that just happened, that just one of the highlights, just kind of falls in your lap.
Right. So, and I hope that you get an opportunity to take that like a few steps further because that's what I had the opportunity to do when I came out with my children's book.
Oh, tell
Um,
me.
we ended up coming out with bed sheets, socks, shoes, pajamas, camping tents. We did the whole nine.
Well, how
We
did
just
they sell? Do they sell well?
so they sold very well. We had got approached by Walmart to put some things inside their store, but I
Wow,
opted out.
that's good. That's
Yeah,
big.
I opted out on Walmart because they have a certain testing procedure that they have to go through, which wouldn't have been bad. It's just extra money on top of money,
Yeah.
type of deal. So I said, well, we're doing good on our own, and we'll just, we'll fall flat on our face if anything fails with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yes, and I've read some things about Walmart. Yeah, and especially if you deal with California at all, they
yeah,
have so many. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
different rules and yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, when you're not doing the children's books, I know you say you're into certified etiquette, and I think also you said real estate,
No, racehorsing. Oh, I
racehorsing.
used to be in insurance. I was a
Okay,
certified insurance counselor,
okay,
but I don't do that anymore. I just concentrate on my books and promoting them and writing the books. And my husband and I travel a lot,
okay,
so we're fairly busy. But we've got some racehorses in upstate New York,
okay.
and we have a steeplechase racer, and then flat racing, and so that's a lot of fun. And that takes up a lot of time.
I bet. So is it safe for me to say you used to ride equestrian, or you just like horses?
Oh, I just like horses.
Okay,
I mean, I was really scared of them at first, but now not so much. But
you're right. So are your horses are they like top winners?
not yet. One of them is doing real well in the steeplechase. See, he got hurt and he had a nervous breakdown. So we had to take him out of training and send him back to the farm and just kind of nurse him back to health.
Yeah.
And he had tremendous promise. It was heartbreaking because his dad was a Kentucky Derby winner and a
Okay.
Preakness winner, and his mama was a good racer. But once he got an abscess tooth and he got a poke in the eye, and that just freaked him out. So
Okay.
it took about a year to get him back. He's still kind of kooky, but
Right.
but
Right.
the trainer works with him. He gets it.
So let's talk about this. Since you write children's books, let's talk about a little bit of your upbringing. How
Okay.
was your childhood coming up?
Well, I grew up in a small town, and Friday Night Lights. That's El Campo, Texas. That's what it is. You go to everybody goes to the football games on Friday, and everybody knows everybody and all their business. And my parents were very social. They were very social. Had a lot of parties. Went to a lot of parties. Gone a lot, and but it was just a typical little small town upbringing.
Okay. And so, you got the horses, you got the children's books. How are you rounding up your legacy? What do you want the end part to come down to be?
Well, okay. I did a 5 minute 3D full color video. The guy who produced Thomas the Tank produced it. The guy who wrote the cover song has won 2 Grammys, and the last one was for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So
Okay.
my end game is to get Abella on the big screen because
Okay.
I've got this great video, and then the producer was going to really shop it, but then his wife got ill, and now he's working at NYU and isn't going to do it. So it's kind of fallen back on my lap to market this video. But I just think kids need this because, we need to bring innocence back into children's lives because it's overwhelming. There's so much going on,
Yeah.
especially with all the internet that they have access to that
Yeah.
is too much.
Yeah.
But they need just innocence.
Yeah. I totally agree. And I was happy to know that you were a children's book author because I think, we just need to let the kids be kids and stop pushing
Yes.
everything on them.
Yes, just let them be kids.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what the whole reason I was so driven to do this video and to get it in front of the right people was to just do a little TV series or a special or a movie, something to just kind of give kids a break. I
Right.
think I think things will get better now, hopefully, but things are kind of calming down, but
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, I typically ask everyone who comes onto the show, do they have plans to turn their books into movies or, little short films? So I do highly encourage you to pursue that. I'm still on the pursuit myself. I figured out a few things. To pitch it, you need to, get with a small production company, and kind of pitch them. A lot of those production companies, they don't want you to have any say so into your own creation. They just want to buy you out and kind of like,
Right.
go from there.
Well,
But
but
go
what
ahead.
I found, there is a studio called Angel Studio. Have you
Yes,
heard of Angel Studio?
yes, yes.
Yeah, well, they will take unsolicited submissions.
Okay,
So yeah, look that up, because as soon as I finish this one project I'm working on, I'm gonna turn my attention to that and get my little video submitted to Angel Studios and see what happens.
okay, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking to Miss Zane. She's the author of The World's First Tooth Fairy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Just go ahead and let everybody know where they could follow you on social media if you're doing
Okay.
anything like that.
All right. Well, the world's first toothfairy.com, or Zane Carruth, that's CARRUTH.com. All of that's about my books. And World's First Tooth Fairy on Instagram, Z Carruth on Instagram, and then Facebook, Zane Carruth. But I'd love for y'all to follow me and let me know what you think of my books. You can buy the books, all the books at Amazon, and Barnes and Noble has them, Walmart, Target. Yeah, that's
Anywhere.
about it.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere retail books can be sold.
Yes, and they're all sold online, so they're easy to get. But I'm in Houston. If you want me to come for a book signing or a book reading, I'm happy to do that. Anywhere in Texas, I'm there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Zane, it was an absolute pleasure speaking with you. I'm most definitely hope that you make it as far as that you want to go, and I'm very
Thank
proud
you.
of you for doing what you're doing. Thank
Well,
you for
thank you.
inspiring the youth as well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It was a pleasure being on your show.
No problem. My name is Darcie McAway. I'm the host of wildpodcast.me, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.